So let's go down to the layer that has, I got a number of layers of paper here. Go down to the layer that shows a drawing done this way. Let's also go down maybe one layer above that. And I have underneath here, I have a drawing kind of worked out. You can kind of see it through the paper here. But what I would like to do before I get down to that is to go here on top and demonstrate how the method that was used to arrive at that drawing. So first, a horizon line was drawn. In this case, I'm going to use the graphite pencil as a, if I can get my pencil to work here. Hang on a minute here. What's wrong with this thing? Let's get another lead coming out here. What I'm going to do is draw a graphite horizon in graphite pencil here, like this. And then I'm going to switch over to the blue pencil. And by the way, I've just arbitrarily picked some vanishing points. Left vanishing point, right vanishing point. Then I'm picking an arbitrary place here. For the sake of talking about this, I'm going to call it point C. It gives us a label with which we can identify that. So then drawing from there down in blue, what I'm drawing here is the vertical reference line, and it's going to come right down. It's at a 90-degree angle to the horizon up here, and it comes right straight down like this. Now on that line, I've picked an arbitrary vertical vanishing point, VVP, down here. Now that I have that, I have the three vanishing points located. I'm going to interconnect all three vanishing points with straight lines. So starting from the vertical vanishing point, drawing to the left vanishing point and to the right. And what I'm getting here is a triangle that consists of three lines which are all called horizons. Okay, the next step in the process, I would then draw a 90-degree angle relative to this right horizon that goes through the left vanishing point. By the way, let's go up here and indicate that this is a 90-degree angle here. All right, let's make this 90-degree angle goes up through the left vanishing point. It has to be 90 degrees to this line. See, there's only one place where that will work. Move this to a position where a 90-degree angle goes through the left vanishing point, like this. That gives me a 90-degree angle right here. And for the sake of talking about this, I'm going to call that point A. All right? Now, automatically, I should be able to then draw the green right reference line coming from the right vanishing point through the center of vision, like this. The center of vision is where all these lines meet in here. All right? Now, this is a case where, I'm going to identify that as point B, by the way. This is a case where the center of vision is not on the horizon line. See, in 1-point and 2-point perspective, the center of vision was on the horizon line, but not in 3-point. By the way, we're going to do a 3-point view looking down. This also works just the same way looking up. I could just turn this upside down. It would work for an upward view too. So what I'm going to do next is come relative to this red left reference line. By the way, let's identify this as a left reference line. Like we had in 2-point perspective, we had a left reference line. In this case, this will be the left reference line. And this line coming out from the left reference line like this is what we call a distance line. I'm going to put DL on that. It's a distance line. Now, what we're setting this up in a way that we're just going to accept the distance that works out here. There is a way of plotting a distance, but right now, let's just do this. What I need to do in order to find what we call, I'm going to give this label station point 1. And again, I'm reading your mind. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you can only have one station point in perspective because there's only one place that the viewer can be, and you would be right. But what we do in 3-point perspective, we take that station point and split it up into 3 points. It's still the same point, but we use it for 3 different functions of measurement, and I'll show that in a minute here. So what I've done here is I've made a 90-degree angle that goes through the left vanishing point and through point A here. This gives me a line from the left vanishing point to station point 1. I can use that to find the measuring point. Remember that measurement, that definition of a measuring point? A measuring point is a point on the horizon line, right here, measuring point, the same distance from the vanishing point that the station point is from the vanishing point. To show how I got that, I might just leave in here a dashed line like this that shows how I took this measurement and brought it up to the horizon like this. So this is the left measuring point, which is on the right. Now coming in green now, from the right reference line, that is this line right here. Oops, that's red. Let's get green. Right reference line. Coming from there at a 90-degree angle like this, I can now find station point 2. But this is really nice because in this case, I don't have to do that triangle trick again. That was hard enough to do as it was, huh? So what's happening here? This green line is a distance line also. The distance lines are all really one line, again, that has been split into 3. But to find this station point 2, what I need to do is just take the measurement from the center of vision to station point 1, measure that same distance on the green line. This gives me station point 2. Now, I can do a diagram after this is done that explains how this is all working. I know it's a little confusing, but just patiently wait and we'll get to that point where we can explain how these 3 triangles work. From station point 2, I'm drawing a line to point B, and then from station point 2, a line to the right vanishing point. And what this gives me is a 90-degree angle here automatically. And I can now measure this green line from the vanishing point to the station point and bring that measure up to the horizon. Let me remeasure that again, make sure I got it right. Let's see, I got 10 7/8. 10 7/8 is right here. Okay, now this is a dashed line that again shows how I got the right measuring point. Again, a measuring point is a point on the horizon, the same distance from the vanishing point that the station point is from the vanishing point. All right, now we have to do one more that we have never had this before, and this is called the vertical measuring point, and a vertical measuring system. So what we'll do is come through here. You see what we've done in each case here? We've come from the center of vision at a 90-degree angle relative to its reference line. This will be then the vertical reference line here, VRL, and a 90 degree to that is just a horizontal coming out here like this. Now to find station point 3, I know that I can go back and measure the distance to station point 1 and bring that same distance up to this line over here, 5 3/4, and it comes just outside that green line. In this case, it does. It depends, if you're doing this yourself, it depends on how you set up the initial setup. In my case, it always falls just outside this green line. This is called station point 3. Now from station point 3, I'm going to draw a line to the vertical vanishing point, giving me now an automatic 90-degree angle in blue, okay? So what this line is here is another distance line. 1, 2, 3 distance lines. They're all really one line that has been split in 3, and I can show you in a minute how that works. This also, by the way, is known as the horizontal measuring line. And this line that has D on it here is what we call a distance line, let's say distance line, and also a vertical measuring line. We will put the units of measure on this horizontal measuring line, and for measuring up and down, we'll use the green distance line as the vertical measuring line. It might be of interest to you that you have a horizon line and a measuring line parallel to it. Between the two is an intervening angled line. Here we have the same thing again. We have a measuring line and what we call a horizon here. and an intervening line in there that is at a different angle than these two lines. So the intervening line will receive the foreshortened dimensions from the measuring line. So here's the measuring line. We will transfer foreshortened dimensions to that green line there for the width, and also over here on this side for the red. What I want to do just quickly here is draw an object that is, see, for the sake of this, let's say it's 3 units tall. I don't know, I'll just use the word units. And it's 2 units to the right. Let's maybe use inches. And 1 unit to the left. I think that should work. So let's draw this object using this system. What I said was that there were 3 units high. So in this case, what I'm going to do here is use the center of vision as the near corner of this structure. And I'm going to measure down 3 units from there this way. 0, 1, 2, 3, like this. Let's get that extra DL out of there. Okay. Now I'm going to measure horizontally. I'm going to have 2 units over to this side, like this, and 1 unit over here. I'm using inches for the units. Now here's how I measure things. I already know that from here, this is going to be the top of this object. So these lines here that go to the vanishing point, that gives me the top of this. I also know that this vertical blue line will be the near corner of this thing. So what I want to do is find the bottom of it. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 units to the bottom. From the 3, oh, you know what? I've got to get my vertical measuring point. I didn't do that yet. Excuse me. Let's get that. Once again, a measuring point. See, this is now called a horizon also. Remember, those 3 lines interconnecting the vanishing points are called horizons. Okay, on this horizon, I'm going to find a vertical measuring point by doing this. Measuring the distance from the vertical vanishing point to station point 3 and measuring that same distance on this horizon. And remember that definition again. A measuring point is a point on the horizon, the same distance from the vanishing point that the station point is from the vanishing point. Okay, let's measure that distance. It comes to, get it right here, 9 and 9/16, okay? 9 and 9/16 comes to right here. This then is the, I should be using blue, this is the vertical measuring point. It's a measuring point we've never had before. Okay, I'm just showing how I got that by just putting a dashed line in here like this that kind of indicates how I did the measurement here and then just brought it over to this point over here, and that gave me the vertical measuring point.